Michigan's Adventure, located in Muskegon, is the largest amusement park in the state of Michigan. It takes up 247 acres of land occupied by 7 roller coasters, a handful of family flat rides, and a good amount of kiddie rides scattered throughout the park. I recently went for the first time, and today we're going to be looking at Michigan's Adventure as a whole, looking at its ups and downs. Make sure to watch until the end, as I'll be giving my personal thoughts on how this park could become something great. This park has always had a very bad reputation as being the worst park in the Cedar Fair or Six Flags chain. It's been almost 18 years since they received a new roller coaster, which was Thunderhawk. The funny thing is that Thunderhawk wasn't even new when they got it. It originally opened at Geauga Lake in Ohio in 1998. That makes it a 28-year-old used roller coaster. They got this crap from the thrift store across the street. It's easy to tell that this park has not been treated as well as most of the other parks in the chain. Most of the rides here are old and outdated. Think of this park as the middle child. It's usually forgotten about and only gets fed once in a while. Michigan's Adventure originally opened back in 1956 as a petting zoo under the name Deer Park. It was only until 1988 when it received its current name, and in 2001 it was purchased by Cedar Fair. This is one of the 7 parks that Six Flags sold to Enchanted Parks back in April 2026. This park is in the middle of nowhere deep in the Muskegon woods. To get there, you drive down roads with houses and you don't see the park at all until you're right at the parking lot. It's very weird. As soon as you pull up to the parking lot, the first thing you'll see is Shivering Timbers, the park's biggest roller coaster. This is their headline attraction and it makes a very impressive first impression. Once you go through the parking tolls, you'll reach the actual parking lot. Once you park your car and walk up to the park, you'll go through this very small entrance with just 2 metal detectors. However, this is where the park starts to get weird. After you walk through a little entrance building, you're immediately facing a brick wall, which is a gift shop. You can either go left or right through these tiny little walkways where it then starts to open up. Usually when you get through the main entrance of a park, the walkways immediately open up from there. Here, they get smaller. It's like you're waiting for a grand reveal of the park and there's just a brick wall. Super exciting, I know. Once you get past the building, you'll see the man-made lake that the park is set up around. This gives the park a very unique but cool feel. It's fairly easy to navigate this park, but a pain to get from side to side. It's almost one big circle around the lake, except for some reason back by Thunderhawk and Shivering Timbers, the pathways just stop. From there you have to take the train or walk all the way back around the lake, which is a pain in the booty butt. Trust me, I know. It's not a huge deal, just a bit of an inconvenience. And that's kind of what this park is. It's a good park, but there are just so many tiny inconveniences that add up. Some smaller parts of the walkway are decently shaded, while a lot of the bigger sections have little to no shade at all. In particular, this stretch by the water park. It's really odd that there aren't any trees or just artificial shades protecting you from the sun here. This made the fact of the park not being a complete circle even more miserable. If you wanted to get back to Thunderhawk or the train station back there, you had to walk in the sun all the way from Corkscrew at the front of the park. Luckily, it wasn't too hot when I went. If it was a 90-degree day though, that would really suck. In terms of things to do, this is a pretty small park. If you only have one day here, it's very possible to do most things in just one day. Even if you go on the weekend, lines don't get very long, about 30 minutes maximum. Since the park doesn't get very busy, it has a somewhat abandoned feel. This video was taken about an hour after opening back by Thunderhawk. It eventually did get a tad busier a bit later in the day, but around 2 o'clock, the crowd started to fizzle out. Keep in mind, I went on the second Saturday of June. It's not like I went on a weekday right after the park opened, or while school was starting back up. The atmosphere of this park feels like it's stuck in the 2000s, which is weird, but I kind of dig it. I didn't realize how boring some of the buildings at other amusement parks were getting. It's like when you're used to modern McDonald's, then you walk into an old one, if that makes any sense. All the rides were freshly painted in very vibrant colors, especially Corkscrew, which looked amazing. A make or break part of an amusement park is their roller coaster lineup. They have 7 coasters, and this lineup is kind of a dumpster fire if I'm being honest. It's headlined by Shivering Timbers, the only actually good roller coaster here. It's an 122-foot tall Woody that's often compared to a B&M Hyper by enthusiasts due to its large camelbacks that give sustained fuller airtime. Believe it or not, this is actually the park's largest coaster. It's not too often a wooden coaster is the park's biggest or best. Other than Shivering Timbers, they also have Thunderhawk, a Vekoma SLC that is quite rough but pretty fun, Corkscrew, an Aero Corkscrew that is actually somewhat smooth and fun, Wolverine Wildcat, a small Din Corporation's Woody that felt like it was going to fall apart, Mad Mouse, an Aero Wild Mouse that was just alright, Zach's Zoomers, a family wooden coaster from Custom Coasters International that was just okay, and Woodstock Express, a Kitty Big Dipper model from Chance Rides that I did not ride. This lineup is just something else. It feels like they took the weakest coaster from every other park and just slapped it in there. I'm sorry, but you know you're cooked when your second best coaster is an SLC. I know this is debatable, but still. Alright, so maybe they don't have the best roller coasters. So what about flat rides? Well, they don't actually have any thrill rides. Just off-the-shelf kids rides. Wanna ride a drop tower? Too bad. Wanna ride a scream and swing? Better luck next time. Wanna ride literally anything bigger than a Ferris wheel? Well, you can't. The only rides they have that aren't specifically for kids are the Ferris wheel, the train, and their water rides, which don't even classify as flat rides. Seriously, there are no thrill flat rides at this park other than Ripcord, and that's an upcharge attraction. I mean, if you want to ride Winky the Whale, knock yourself out. I won't judge you. Just please, get at least one major flat ride. It would do a world of improvements. One thing they do have, however, are the swan boats. These are actually pretty fun and quite charming if I'm being honest. You get to go out on the lake with one other person and paddle around a small roped off area. While this isn't technically a flat ride, it's still a ton of fun. Even with the iffy lineup of rides, my biggest complaint were the operations. Don't even get me started because holy crap, I'm not even joking when I say that I waited 5 minutes to get this shot of Corkscrew. It was ridiculous. For Mad Mouse, we waited 30 minutes, which, okay, I get that there's only 4 people per cart, but they only ran one at a time. I don't know why, because the point of Wild Mouse coasters are to have multiple running at a time. I just don't get it. I'm not too upset because even when they were only sending a train every few minutes, the waits were only around 15 minutes. I'm just saying that if they were faster, every ride could have been a walk-on or station wait. The operations did get a bit quicker about an hour before they closed, which was nice. Another thing I want to mention is that there was nobody assigning seats on any of the coasters. It was really easy to get what row you wanted, which was nice, but the stations were also a mess. Groups of people trying to get on the same train, little kids running around, etc. Again, nothing too major, it was just odd. One of the redeeming qualities of this park is their kids area Camp Snoopy. This section is actually quite nice. They have 2 roller coasters, a playground, and a few more basic kiddie rides. The 2 coasters are Zach's Zoomers, a family wooden coaster that opened in 1994, and Woodstock Express, a steel kiddie coaster that opened in 1999. Although these are nowhere near great rides, they're essential parts of the park's lineup. They're great for getting kids into roller coasters before they get on bigger rides like Mad Mouse or Wolverine Wildcat. This section looks great and just shows how much better this whole park could be. It's honestly kind of frustrating. They also have a decent sized water park called Wild Water Adventure right next to the dry park. I did not go into the water park at all, but it does seem decent. It's a wave pool, water slides, lazy river, etc. Funnily enough, it actually has better reviews than Michigan's Adventure on Google. Inside the dry park, there are 7 places to eat, 5 of those all being crammed by the park entrance and backed by Shivering Timbers. Although I personally did not eat any of the food during my visit, I will say that all of the food options are just basic theme park foods. Pizza, chicken tenders, hot dogs, you get the gist. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, but it would be nice to have some more options. Personally, I think they could do a lot to improve this park. They could start by getting a major flat ride, adding some shade on the walkways, making the park a full loop, getting more food options, and maybe purchasing a modern family coaster. I feel like a modern family Vekoma boomerang would be really cool here. They could even make it go over the water. Think something like Light Explorers at Energylandia. Overall, this place is a mixed bag. It's a good park for families with young kids, but there are just so many things that could be drastically improved. Cedar Fair had so long to improve this park, and they did virtually nothing. They could have and should have done better. I really hope Enchanted Parks can improve this place and make it more popular. If you enjoyed this video or just watched this far, please consider subscribing as it helps me out a ton. Peace out and ride on.